This new year, we are about to take things to the next level.
Things are about to get cray-cray.
Whoa, okay.
And that's important because...
Come with me, let me show you.
Got it.
When you upgrade your package, DSTV will step you up to the next higher package, all on us.
That's a lot. Oh.
For example, when you upgrade from DSTV Compact to Compact Plus, we give you premium.
What?
Come on.
Oh, exciting.
Okay.
Look at your face.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
Step up to more of the quality sports, movies, series, local, and the kids show that you love. Upgrade your DSTV package today and get stepped up to the next higher package. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, good morning and happy new month. It's good to be with you on the program again today. My name is Chimoke Michaels. Banji, good morning.
Okay, good morning. Happy New Month.
Happy new month.
I say Happy New Month to all our viewers across the globe. My name is Banji Busari.
All right, so is Monday morning, and today we are paying attention to, or let me rather say we are focusing on governance in Ogun State. A lot has been happening in Ogun State, and we'd just like to discuss them this morning. And like we always do, you can be a part of this discussion by calling or sending an SMS. I know you realize that I said calling. So if you called this morning, we'll take your calls. And then you can also send us an SMS to tell us your opinion about our discussion and also to clarify some issues with our guests this morning, because we have the special advisor to the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, the person of, the special advisor to the Governor on Media and Communications, Honorable Remy Azan. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Let's Happy New Year. I thought you were not going to say
Happy
that.
New Week.
Happy New Month. Happy New...
I wish you the same.
You're welcome, sir.
And we thank God for bringing us into the second month of the new year.
We give glory to God. You're welcome. Maybe we should start on a celebrative note. The state will turn 45 in the next 48 hours.
Sure.
That's February 3rd. The state was created in 1976. So what's the mood in Ogun State now towards the 45th anniversary?
An official position communicating the manner of celebration has been released as a media statement through the Office of the Commissioner for Information. And that is to the extent that it's going to be low-key because of the pandemic that the entire globe is still trying to grapple with. But of course, there will be some semblance of celebration. You have some pullouts in some newspapers, and of course there will be some media engagement here and there, but there will be no gathering in such a way that will bring too many people together in the name of celebrating. We'll still be alive to celebrate many more years.
Amen. But then briefly, even though it's going to be low-key, with taking a kind of retrospective view of the state in 45 years, what would you say like to give us an insight into a few high and low points of this state in the last 45 years?
Ogun State is a very unique state, situated in a geographical area of over 16,000 square kilometers. The fact is that the state is so well blessed, both naturally and of course with human resources. And if you take a look at us, we are a state of many firsts, so many firsts. And a good number of those firsts are still very much alive. Some have gone to be with the Lord. But of course, what they stand for is a major inspiration for those who are alive to soldier on in ensuring that Ogun State holds its pride of place in the Committee of State. And that is why it is difficult, if not impossible, for any government to be formed in this country without having one top person being from Ogun State. It is not as if other states are not doing well, but that is what Providence has brought us, and we are not in any way playing down on that. It is a major, major source of inspiration for the younger generation. So we are happy with the highs. Of course, we've had a bit of lows as well. There's been some issues related to certain political playouts that didn't portray us in good light in the past. But at the same time, the state was able to come out of it better than ever. So on the whole, put the two side by side, I think we're doing well, very, very well, and we can still do far better than we have done thus far.
All right, there seems to be a lot of activity or projects regarding around agriculture in Ogun State, because we hear it that the state has keyed into the grow what you eat and eat what you grow initiative of the federal government. Now, and then agriculture is receiving a boost in the state in different categories. So please, would like you to update us on these different initiatives of the administration.
Well, to start with, agriculture became a priority for this administration for two major reasons. First is to tackle the scourge of unemployment. And the truth remains that any administration in the present day Nigeria that seeks to fight unemployment head-on and pays less attention to agriculture is a non-starter, because the number of graduates that our institutions of higher learning keep churning out every year adds more to the already bad unemployment record. But agriculture remains one sector that can take a very large chunk of these unemployed youth off the street, get them gainfully employed. And that takes us now to the second part of the reason why agriculture is a priority, is of course to boost food security as a state and as a nation. And that is why you see that all the various policies we're coming out with addresses these two major challenges. Now, in the area of the cost-specific policies of the administration, you will see that we are not just relating it or limiting it to crop farming. We're also doing livestock as well. And recently, just about a few days ago, the state signed a memorandum of understanding with a French dairy farm so that they can set up a major dairy concern in Ogun State. Believe it or not, more than 3,000 heads of cow are consumed in Lagos alone, and none of those heads of cow are bred in Lagos. And that means that there is a market for whatever it is that goes into dairy farming in Ogun State, because Ogun State is geographically locked with Lagos State. We're also into some selected crops, farming in the area of the Anchor Borrowers program, wherein those who are already interested in those particular categories of crop signify even before the actual farming is done. That means the product has a ready market even before the harvest time. And that puts whoever goes into business on a very secure level of ensuring that not only is his investment secured, he's also guaranteed a minimum return on investment. And all of this is the avenue we're pushing majority of our youth into. And so far, all these programs put together, 50,000, more than 50,000 are already engaged. But the target
50,000
youths,
Okay.
but we're targeting far more than that. The projection of this administration is that in the life of this first tenure, we should be able to do up to 300,000. And take that off the street. I don't know how many more criminals will remain in the name of being jobless. So that essentially is why agri is a priority to us as a state. And we have gotten to the level where even government at the center has decided now to pay a lot more attention to the agricultural exploit of Ogun State. And that's why you see that the interface we have with the federal government has increased. And recently, late last year, the governor was selected as the best governor for agri in the whole country. That means his inroads into agricultural exploit has not gone unnoticed.
I'd like you to link what you have just said with the proposition by the state government to actually start agro-allied airport. What is the state then right for? Independent, airport dedicated to agro-allied.
Agro-cargo.
Agro.
Yeah, agro-cargo airport. When you do agri on a very large scale, commercial scale, you need certain level of transportation to ensure that some perishable crops don't waste time in being moved to the locations where they are needed, whether within or outside the country. And because of the inroads we are making in agriculture, most of the things that we grow cannot all be consumed by us. So there are those who will need them outside of our state. So providing a place where transportation can be aided. Thank God we also have now the standard gauge rail passing through our state. But that particular trunk has not been completed yet to the far north. It's still in stages. So the issue of the airport will also help to boost domestic transportation as well as international transportation of all those crops so produced, especially the ones that have some element of perishability.
All right, but when we talk about the airport, we also have issues with the roads, transporting with food materials.
Farm products.
Yeah, farm products to neighboring states and then even far-reaching states. What is the level of concentration on road repairs, bridges, and all that?
Well, I remember
faster.
Yeah, Jumoke, still along that. I remember he spoke about the Shagamu, Abeokuta, Ijebu-Ode, Ekpe, and some other roads under construction. What level of completion are they as we speak?
Ijebu-Ode, as of today, Ijebu-Ode Ekpe Road is already over 65%, as at the last visit, which was last week, which means that whatever other work that has been done after that assessment will have added to the 65% that was assessed while on site. Now, going back to the issue of road construction to aid agricultural production. As a matter of fact, it's a policy of this administration that rural roads be made priorities. And that is why you see that as we churn out certain approvals for road construction, a good number of them are in the rural areas. There is a community that has not enjoyed any infrastructural presence of government for as old as the state has been. Late last year, some of the roads that were awarded, I'm talking of one community in Remo North local government, they call the place Orileoko. an 8-kilometer road was awarded for that community. Every agricultural concern in such a locality, for example, will also receive a boost by the reason of that road construction. So we're not just concentrating on repairing or rehabilitating the roads in urban areas. Because of the deliberate policy that we have to boost agriculture, rural roads are part of our concern. And as a matter of fact, we have an agency of government, the Ministry of Rural Development, that is actually saddled with some of such roads that may not need a bit of what I call larger than life kind of concentration. There are some kind of rural road you could just construct that will be of benefit, not necessarily investing enormous resources as will have affected those of urban roads that carries too much of a weight. So some kind of light road construction that are cheaper than the regular are going on in rural areas, and Ministry of Rural Development is doing the needful as far as that is concerned.
Okay, talking about rural development, just this last weekend, the federal government is reported to have actually given out grants to rural women, about 3,500 in Ogun State. That is sum of 20,000 naira each. Now, I'd like you to confirm that. And what's the purpose of this synergy between the state and federal government?
Now, to start with, what you just said is true. It happened on, I think that was Sunday, yesterday.
Saturday.
Was it Saturday? Okay, I can't remember. Is it either yesterday or Saturday? Whichever way. Okay, 30th, that's Saturday, you're correct. Most times, when federal agencies decide to empower people at the grassroots without passing through the state, the result is that not all the time did they succeed in reaching the right people who truly need this assistance. This particular one, the state was sufficiently engaged, and the beneficiaries were also identified by the state government. And at the end of the day, the entire list came out to be such that addresses the particular target of those that needed to be empowered. And that's why you see that the federal agency and the state agency combine to supervise the disbursement, just so that it is actually those that are listed that gets it. And everybody smiled home. But that is just a sort of empowerment to aid whatever it is that such women are doing at rural level, but strictly for women.
All right, still talking about, there's still a lot, so we are just trying to see that we touch as many segments of the society as we can. All right, so you're still talking about job creation. I know that agriculture is not the only means through which the administration is trying to reach the teeming unemployed youth. Like what you're wearing is an Ogun State thing.
Ogun State brand.
Ogun State brand. All right, so what other ways or other means is the government actually pursuing to ensure that jobs are created for the youth?
Just like you mentioned about the Adire, last year also the Adire marketplace, digital marketplace, was launched. If you go online now, www.ogunadire.com, you will see that you can actually either join that platform as someone who markets or go there to purchase, and whatever you're purchasing will be delivered to your doorstep. This is taking the local production of our fabric that is so unique to us to such a point where we don't wink in the dark. People can actually sit in the comfort of their home and check what we have for sale, and they can also be part of it. This is expected to boost not just the production, but also the sales of same. Because at the end of the day, we're looking at billions being added to our gross domestic product. And of course, those who are involved in it are young and upcoming people who have shown interest in the Adire fabric. The Adire market is there in Abeokuta for those who still desire to do physical shopping. But you don't have to go there if you can, from the comfort of your smartphone or any other device, contact the Adire marketplace and get yourself a good fabric so that you can adore it and at least be able to project Ogun State. That is our brand, and we're proud of it.
Okay, tell us about everybody. Just last week, the federal government, the president signed into law the COVID-19, I think, penalty, so to speak, for violations and all that.
As a mask.
As a mask, yes. What's the situation in Ogun State as we speak? Again, I'd like you to add to it the fact that the vaccines that's being expected in the country has not arrived yet. What other provisions, apart from what government, federal government is delivering to your state? Is the state government doing anything other than what you are expecting from federal government? Because it's reported that only Ogun State, only Lagos rather, and Oyo have a special provision. In all the 36 states, Ogun State is not one of the states prepared. Is your state prepared for additional vaccines, apart from what federal government is bringing to you?
Thank you very much. Let's talk about first the mask mandate by the federal government, which the president signed into a law recently. The truth of the matter is that this COVID thing, one of the major challenges that managing and containing the pandemic has experienced is the lackadaisical attitude of people in following the protocol. There are those who still see mask as a no-go area, and there are those who still see social distancing as something not to be observed. And that carelessness has actually become a source of worry to those of us who are in government, because even as you want to ensure that the people understand the reason behind the guidelines, the protocol, you also at the same time don't want to be seen as taking enforcement too far, so that it won't look like you're using the instrumentality or paraphernalia of office to make people feel uncomfortable. But sometimes when certain events happen and they see themselves, that's when they begin to say, oh, it's true. My prayer is that it won't get to that point, before we realize that we need to do this. Even that particular order that the president signed is not supposed to be seen as any government trying to inflict hardship on people, but it's in the interest of everyone. Now, come to the issue of the vaccine. First thing I need you to know is that your level of control over what you don't produce is limited. Very, very limited. We have not started producing the vaccine in Nigeria. Now, those who have started producing in Europe and in America, the truth about their current predicament is that they are also very much short in supply. It means the rate at which the vaccine is needed and the amount or the number that has been produced is not commensurate with what can guarantee them some bit of relaxed mind. So that means what they release to other nations is also very limited. While we await them showing us some bit of compassion by releasing some to us in this part of the world, we also as a nation should speed up what it takes to produce at home. It is when that is done that the arrangement of any state to procure can actually see the light of the day. If anybody agrees with any government outside of the Western nations now to release a vaccine to them, they will only do it at their own time, and you can't force them because they also have a lot of catch-up to do in terms of ensuring that the rate at which the deaths are happening around them should be reduced to the barest minimum. We are happy as a nation that that magnitude of death rate hasn't happened here, but we shouldn't wait till it happens. So while effort is being made to import, our federal agencies should also speed up the arrangement to produce it at home, because once you know the chemical component, they can be produced anywhere. And I believe that that is being done by the government at the center. We can only hope that it's fast enough to not allow us get into any form of jeopardy.
All right, so you can be a part of this program by calling 080-233-47-006, 080-233-47-006. Okay, the number is there on the screen. You can just put a call through to the studio and talk to our guest today. You have a problem, a burden, something around your area in Ogun State. You can ask him, he will clarify for you. So please, you can just, but please make the questions simple and direct, please. And then also remember to lower the volume of your TV set so that we can hear you clearly from here in the studio.
Of course, don't forget that our guest is the special advisor to Prince Dr. Dapo Abiodun, Governor of Ogun State, on media and communications, as I'm talking about, Honorable Remi Hassan. We cannot conclude this interview without bringing forth a very, very crucial issue in the land as we speak. I'm talking about insecurity. That's the headers and farmers clash. You recall that weeks back in your state, in Ondo State, there were quick notices to headers.
Hello, good morning. Yeah, please, what's your name and where are you calling from? From Aguinyon. All right. Okay, please go ahead. Please, you need to turn down the volume of your TV set. All right, thank you.
You want to take that now? Maybe
I think it's better to take it.
Okay.
The Songo Ijoko Ojodu Road, which the caller actually mentioned that has not been attended to for some time. We have addressed this here before, and we'll say it again. While we have tried to do some palliative and also awarded some alternative road that are cheaper for us, we are still challenged by the fact that fund is not readily available to continue with that project. While we are looking for alternative means of funding, in order not to leave the people completely cut off, yes, we are doing roads that will provide alternative access. Those ones are cheaper for us as a state. That's on one side. But of course, we are also engaging the contractor to see if some bit of contractor financing can be done for the state to now begin to look for means of repayment. That discussion is on. But of course, until it is tidied up, you cannot expect the contractor to return to site without having his funds or payment guaranteed. So their caller from Ojodu Songo Road, please have it at the back of your mind that you are not neglected, and this government is exploring alternative means of funding this project so that it can quickly be delivered. We guarantee you that. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Hello, good morning. I'm very well. What's your name and where are you calling from? Agbado. All right. Okay, let's hear you. Okay.
Let's take the next one.
Let's take the next call. Hello. Hello, good morning. Yeah, what's your name and where are you calling from, sir?
I'm from
Iroye.
I guess you know Iroyin.
Okay, sir, around Sango. All right, okay, go on, sir.
Yes, so I just want to say something concerning that Etoku road. I know that the last governor attended to it, but he was unable to finish it. Now, our commissioner there was telling us that they are doing some certain things. But what the point of every one of us to do? What exactly they are doing about this road? Because if the election begins, and we are looking for people to go for this party to do this job, we think that they are looking for trouble of people. In order to
I think you should just make
Yeah,
it a
yeah.
brief.
I think we have gotten your drift, sir. All right. So he's just still talking about the
It's the
issue
same,
of roads.
it's the same
yeah.
road. It's
yeah.
the very same road.
Yeah.
If you had listened to what I said before, that answer has already been supplied.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So let's talk about the state of security, or insecurity in Ogun State. Do you have the experience of what happened in Oyo State and the Ondo State? Do you have it? Because very recently in the news, some farmers in Ogun State allegedly said soldiers assisted herders by beating them. They led the herders to the community to beat them. I'd like you to comment. Did you hear that story at all?
Yeah, we got it in the media like any other person. Of course, a responsible government wants to know what the media is saying about governance. And that story was attested from the media even before the community people forwarded their petition to the state government. Now, when people in uniform are seen, it is not wrong to immediately think that they are genuine. And so when such an instance occurs, you want to find out, because the location where this particular action was alleged, the closest military formation to that place is the Alamala Barracks in Abeokuta. And the governor is already in touch with the commanding officer of that barracks to be sure that truly those who perpetrated that crime are from that place. That is being investigated by that military organization. But at the same time, we cannot also rule out the fact that the people who perpetrated that couldn't have, just decided to possibly just adorn military uniform. I'm not holding brief for any military formation. But of course, until the CEO of Alamala Barrack comes out with his report as to whether they are his men, if they truly are his men, who are they? Then we will not be able to tell what step we will take. But of course, for the people who have also been very, very proactive by reporting this matter to the Office of the Commissioner of Police, it then simply means that police owes it a duty to ensure that these people are protected from any form of invasion by anyone. It doesn't matter what ethnic background that person is coming from. And we as a government will ensure that the police authority does that.
Yeah, the Ogun State governor wasn't at that meeting last week of the Southwest governors with the Miyetti Allah and some representatives from the federal government. But are you in agreement with all the agreements made at that meeting?
As a state,
Yeah.
we are in total compliance with what the Akure Accord came up with. Whether the governor was there or not is not the issue. The issue is that we are in agreement with that. And as a state, we're doing whatever we need to do to ensure that this accord is also implemented at our own level in the state. I don't know of any Southwest state who is against what
Hello.
the Akure Accord is.
Hello, good morning. Please,
my name is Michael Sunday.
okay, from where, sir?
I'm from Yanota.
Yanota, all right, so go on, sir.
My honorable,
Yes, sir.
good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Sorry, as we concern our area, let's talk about Ujure, that way, and I see. So I don't know what the government, the state government are trying to do for us. Because I don't know, if governor, I don't know for is our governor, we also voted for him. Please, we want him to come to our aid concerning the road. The road is too terrible. People, let's talk about when they actually it was
I think the point is made.
down to
It's all right. We get he got you already. He got you. Okay. So
Now
it's still about roads.
let me bring the young man up to speed on some things. Now, in the 3 senatorial districts, there are about 2 roads each that have been penciled down by this administration as going to aid industrial and economic boost. In the Eastern Senatorial District, you have the Ekpe-Ijebu-Ode Road, as well as the Shagamu-Ikorodu Road. In the Central Senatorial District, you have the Abeokuta-Shagamu Interchange Road, which is already ongoing, as well as the interchange Papalan to Ilaro Road. That even connect 3 senatorial districts. And in the Western Senatorial District, you have the Abeokuta-Songo Lagos Road, as well as, of course, the Songo Agbara Road. Now, some of these roads are federal roads, but of course, we are interfacing with the federal government to ensure their release. But some of them have contractors already on site, federal contractors, but they are just annoyingly slow.
Annoyingly slow.
Annoyingly slow. Because if, for example, Arab contractors have been on Shagamu, Ogijo, Ikorodu Road for 3, 4, 5 years, and it's moving at snail speed, that can be very annoying. And it makes it difficult for us as a state to be able to dislodge the contractor and take over. Now, for the Agbara Ota Road, one of the challenges we have is to get the federal government to release this road. But of course, some things are already being worked out. And I can assure my brother who called that any moment from now, with what has been achieved in terms of discussion, both with the contractor and federal government, work will commence on that particular road. The other ones that we have all these legal logjam, we are continuing our engagement of the agencies concerned, both at federal and state level, just to be sure that we don't have any excuse not being able to deliver. People don't judge performance by effort, it's by result. And the result is that we do this road and get people going. That way, they'll be able to applaud us that we have delivered on our electoral promises.
All right, so I'd just like you to give like a final word of encouragement or advice to Ogun States.
Yeah, the areas that you think that
yes.
the state government is working that's not known to
Okay.
your people.
Now, to our people in Ogun State and from whichever part of the world you are hearing us, the Ishaya mandate of this administration,
Ishaya?
Ishaya is the Ogun State
Work has
anthem,
begun.
but it's an acronym with which this administration operates. The I there stands for infrastructure, the S there stands for social welfare and social well-being. That's where you have health and other related this thing. The E stands for education. The Y stands for youth and culture and religious matters, and the A stands for agriculture. Put everything together. This is the acronym with which our approach to governance has been premised. And believe it or not, if we have not gotten to your area, we will get there soon. But be rest assured that we are delivering on this mandate. We will deliver even at your own doorstep. Any area where you find us not to be up to speed as you are expecting, just have it at the back of your mind that something is slowing us down, but it cannot be permanent. We will get to you very soon, and Ogun State government will be adjudged as having been able to deliver, especially on the mandate given freely to Prince Dr. Dapo Abiodun. Thank you for your support so far. We want more of that support.
Ishaya.
Isheya,
Yeah, in Ogun State.
I've always heard of Isheya, but Isheya has been given a new outlook now. Well, I guess I've been the special advisor to Prince Dr. Abiodun, Governor of Ogun State, that's on media and communication. Honorable Remi Hassan, I'd like to sincerely thank you for your time today.
Thank you, sir.
We wish you more success, more achievements, and more, impactful in governance. People are seeing it, but I believe they still want more. People are asking for more of roads.
Yeah.
I think that should be communicated to the governor.
Well, I think I've explained this to us.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
Road is so germane because that is one aspect of infrastructural development that has the least private sector participation. So government has no choice than to deliver on that. If it is health, there are private hospitals. If it is education, there are private schools. Whatever other thing, you will have it in the private sector. But road, very, very difficult for any private sector investor to put his or her money in it.
We wish you luck, sir.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, so we'll be going on to the next segment of the program where we'll bring you the Celebrity Come Build adverts, talking about the building and construction reality show. It's the first of its kind show, and the person powering it is somebody we all know very well, Mr. Bola Oba. So we'll be leaving you with that. We'd like you to watch and then see how you can be a part of that event. My name is Jumoke Michael, so see you again on Wednesday. Bye-bye.